So it's coming up on time to get started here. Just a second. Still a lot of people logging in, but I don't want to hold everybody up Friday afternoon. We're going to get started. So we're going to get started right now. All right. So again, my name is Dave, and I'm with the Compass Options Trading Room and the Text Alert Service. And this is just kind of a fancy introduction for that. So let's get started. All right. First thing I have to do, of course, is the compulsory disclaimer that I always have to do. All signals and trading opportunities provided. I'm just laughing at Robin. She says, "You talk, I'll eat a muffin." That's funny. All signals and trading opportunities we provide here are for educational and demonstration purposes only. Basically, trading is very risky, so you should never trade with more money than you can afford to lose. And neither myself or Right Line Trading are licensed financial advisors, so we're not going to be giving financial advice. You know, I make recommendations or suggest stocks based on tech setups and everything, but it's never to be construed as anything other than an educational presentation. Okay, so if you have any questions and you want to learn more, you can put your name and phone number or your Skype username in the chat box or into the question box. And if I can't answer the questions, Rory from the Right Line office will be able to answer those questions, and you put your name in there, number in there, he'll call you. He'll call you once. He's not going to try to sell anything to you. We'll give you the presentation at the end of what we have to offer, but he's not going to, other than just answer your questions, that's what he'll do. So you can put that in there. I'll put this up again at the end of the presentation. Okay, so this is just a SPY super system explained. This basically is just a graphic of the Compass system that I run on ThinkorSwim. It runs on ThinkorSwim. It also runs on Ninja, but I'll show you in ThinkorSwim. We call it the SPY super system. I'll explain to why we call that, but it does track institutional money flow, which is very critical. All right, so and again, this is the what the alert service looks like. You get them SMS text alerts to your phone. It take about 15 to 20 seconds normally from the time I send them out. I have the alerts on my phone so I can check and see if there's any delay in that, but generally speaking, they're pretty quick. And I'll go over all of this as we get into the presentation as far as what you get with the text alert service. All right, so the first thing to cover, and probably if you've ever seen me talk, you've seen this before several times, but this is really important. This is a market. The market consists of many small retail traders plus one big, large institutional trader. Now, it's not one institution. It's a lot of institutions, but this is what drives the market. So these little marbles here, this is us. This is the retail traders, such as myself and probably most everybody else here. And when we're trading, we can't drive the market. We can't create a trend. We can't change a trend. If we're in trading and the institutions are not in the trades, then all we're doing is we're creating chaos and chop. A lot of chop, a lot of chaos, no direction. It's just it's a mess, and we can't make any money when we're just trading with other retail traders. So when the institutions come in, these are the institutions, this big marble. Now, who are the institutions? Well, probably everybody knows. These are big investment banks like JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, HSBC, lots and lots of big investment banks. Now, these banks have trading desks where they actually have humans trading, but they also have lots and lots of computer systems, what are called algos, where trades and investments are done all the time. Now, on top of that, you also have part of the institutions are pension funds, big, huge pension funds for states and police and firemen. They have billions of dollars to trade. Now, you also have hedge funds, and there's hundreds of hedge funds. So hedge funds are also have algos or automated systems, but they also drive the market. And the fourth group would be mutual funds, and that would be like T. Rowe Price, Vanguard, the big mutual funds. So these folks have trillions of dollars to invest. So when they're in the market, or in a stock, or in an ETF, whatever they're trading, they can push them. They can actually move the market, which they will do. So our job as a retail trader is not to be in trades when the institutions are not in the trade, but only be in the trades when the institutions are in the trades. That way, we're not taking any money from the institutions, but we're taking them from the other retail traders who don't have the knowledge and the tools that we have to trade. So just remember, we're not trading against investment institutions. What we're doing is we're riding their coattails to take money away from the other retail traders who don't know what we know. All right, and I'm going to let me see if a question here. You have 3,000 to trade. Can I still use the system? Yeah, the thing you're limited on a couple of things, Richard. You can't really day trade, but you can trade with this. And a lot of the trades that we do are going to be time spreads, which are overnight, and you can put credit spreads, things like that. So you don't have to worry about the $25,000 what's called PDT or that a pattern day trader that you can only do 3 trades in a 5-day period. But if you take them overnight, you won't. And listen, there'll be some trades that I take that you won't be able to take because they're going to cost too much. But then we have a lot of option trades where that's plenty. So you're just going to have to be very selective about that. Typically you should have more than that, but you can get by with that if you're just being very selective about the trades that you take. Okay, so this is I got a couple of charts here of the SPY. These are old charts of the SPY, but this is just to kind of show you an introduction of what regular candles look like versus Heiken Ashi candles. So this is SPY with regular candles here. This is back in December or something, but you see the candles, and here they are again. These are regular candles. This is TC2000 right here. I use TC2000 as my charting program. I use TOS for the compass system, but this is TC2000. So these are regular candles here and here. These are Heiken Ashi candles, and we're going to talk about this when we get into the presentation. But you can see that it's very easy to see the trend much smoother with Heiken Ashi candles here. You see the nice move up. You're going to see this nice move down here. See the flat tops on the candles. See the flat bottoms on the candles. Those are Heiken Ashi candles. Very, very useful to determine if a trend is still intact. All right, so in the room and in the alert service, I have a couple of rules that we trade by. First one is we trade the best and skip the rest. This sounds real simple. What we're only looking for is the various highest probability trade setups to take. We're staying away from trades that are mediocre. We're staying away from all trades that institutions are not in. So we do a lot of waiting. We're very patient. We don't take a lot of trades, and I'll show you the numbers that we take. But that's the key thing. We trade the best and skip the rest. The second one, and there's a reason for this. Our objective is not to make trades. Our objective is to make money. And the reason I say this is a lot of traders think that if they're a trader, since they're a trader, they need to be in trades all the time. They're always wanting to be in trades all day long. Got to have trades, got to have trades. No, you don't. You can make a good living just having a few trades by taking the very best trades. And it's a lot less stressful if you don't have 7 or 8 trades out there working. Some people I know take 20, 30 trades a day, scalping all the time. To me, I need a bottle of antacids next to me to try to trade like that. That's not how I trade. But so anyway, our objective is not to make trades. Our objective is to make money. And profitable traders, as to be a profitable trader, you need an edge. And you need an edge over the other retail traders. So our edges and I'm going to go over this, the right line compass system. This is the system that lets us know whether the institutions are in the trade or not in the trade. Really, really, really important. Then we also trade relative strength and relative weakness. Now, don't get this confused with RSI. A lot of people, when they hear relative strength, they think of the RSI indicator. That's not what I'm talking about. I don't use RSI. I don't like it. I don't think it works. But when I say relative strength, relative weakness, I mean, how is the stock that you're in performing versus the SPY or the S&P 500 index, the SPY? If you look on the chart and you look at the SPY, you can see how the SPY is moving. If the SPY is moving sideways or down and your stock is moving up, it's got relative strength. On a day like today, where the market was really strong almost all day long till the very close, if you have a stock that was moving down while the market was moving up strongly like that today, it's got relative weakness. So it's one that you could consider shorting. I wouldn't do it today because the market's too strong. But that's what relative strength and relative weakness is. And with these 2 edges alone, if you're in the trade and the institutions are in the trade, and you trade a stock with relative strength or relative weakness, the chances are that the institutions are driving this trade. You have a very high likelihood of being profitable on the trade. And then we trade with the market trend if there is one. Now, a lot of times you'll get chop in the market and you don't have a market trend, so then you have to lean on your institutions and the relative strength and relative weakness. And the fourth thing is to buy near support and sell near resistance. And this is really important. A lot of folks suffer from FOMO. When the market opens and the stock starts shooting up, it goes NVIDIA, I got to get into this thing now. You know, it's shooting up for 15 minutes, they jump in, and more often than not, what happens is it reverses back and they get trapped in at the high. So what we're doing is we're looking for a stock to get to a support level to go long, go back to a support level, turn around and bounce, and go back into the trend again, and then we would buy it. In other words, waiting for it to come to us and sell at resistance. This would be a short. If the stock was dropping like crazy, you'd wait for it to come back up to a resistance level, turn around, head back down into the trend, then you go ahead and buy. These edges, this will give you a huge edge when you trade like this. Okay, I'm just going to kind of go over the compass system here briefly. Again, it's a piece of software that I run on ThinkorSwim. It runs on Ninja as well, but I run it on ThinkorSwim. Now I don't trade on ThinkorSwim. I only run the compass software on there to get the indicators. I actually trade through a software called Tradier using a piece of software called TradeHawk, which is a front end. But the point of that is, just because you have the compass system on TOS doesn't mean you have to trade on TOS. You can trade on with any brokerage you want. You can trade with Tastyworks. You can trade with ThinkorSwim. You can trade with I guess it's TD Ameritrade. It used to be TD Ameritrade. Now I think it's Schwab. Schwab owns them now. And you know, Scott Trade, any of them. You can trade with any of them, but the compass system runs on Ninja and it runs on ThinkorSwim. The compass system is going to identify the high probability trade setups while sidestepping trade ups that look good but will fail more often they succeed. Okay, so this is really important. This does this by identifying when the institutions are driving the move and when they're not. Again, we've mentioned this a couple of times. We only want to be in trades when the institutions are in the trades. We don't want to be in there when they're not. The compass software analyzes very complex trading data and displays the results in an easily identifiable visual format. This is important because for a new trader who doesn't really have a lot of expertise or experience in doing technical analysis, this is going to take a lot of the work away. And I'll show you charts that will explain that to you. And this visual element makes it possible for even new traders to find high probability trades. So it works really well for people who are just trying to learn. All right, so again, this is how we get an edge over other retail traders. Our edges are, we're only taking trades that are being driven by institutions. And now I'm repeating myself here because this is really important to know this. We're going to trade stocks that have relative strength or relative weakness versus the SPY or the Qs, not RSI. How is your stock performing relative how the SPY is performing? And we're going to trade in the direction of the overall market trend if there is one. How does this give us an edge? Our trades are going to be supported by institutional buying and selling. We're in there buying and the institutions are in there buying. It gives us a much better chance that that stock's going to keep going up. The stock's going to be outperforming the index, the SPY, and it's moving in the direction of the overall market. So these are big edges. And it's really surprising to me how many traders don't understand how critical it is to know what institutions are doing and how critical it is to try to use a relative strength and relative weakness versus a SPY. I mean, it's just a lot of people just a lot of traders don't even take that into consideration when they look at a trade. Okay, so I'm going to look at some recent market action, and the reason I'm going to do this is I want to show you something on the compass system. So let me bring up the compass system over here. This is a compass system. This is Carvana. This is what we were trading today. We'll go back and look at it. But what I want to do is I want to show you the SPY. And this is the compass system. Tom's been a little slow here today for some reason. There it goes. These are scanners here. I'm going to move these scanners out of the way so you can see the results better. But I have there's a cascading up scan for 5 minutes, cascading down scan. So we can, if the stock's moving up, market's moving up, and we can look at cascading down. We know those stocks have relative weakness. If the market's moving down, we look at the cascading up scan. We know all these stocks have got relative strength. and then new yearly highs. But I'll move this out of the way. All right, so I want to look at that. I want to look at the SPY on a daily basis, and the reason I want to show you this is because I want to show you how the Compass system has identified the trends since the market turned around. Back in November, the market turned. This was, you see how it was chopping here, it was red, it was coming down. All right, and then it turned around and moved up. Now, the indicators on here that we're going to focus on right now, the key ones, is this one here. This is called multi-time frame momentum, and this is called current time frame momentum. So on a daily chart, this is the momentum of the SPY on a daily candle. I'm sorry, on the current time frame. The multi-time frame is 1 day, 3 days, and 9 days. This is looking at what's the momentum on all 3 different time frames. So it's looking across multiple time frames. This is the long-term trend, and this is a derivative of money flow. These are the really key ones right here in the Compass system. So what I would just want to point out here is the market was chopping around here, and right in here, end of November, it went all green. Everything was green. And this is what tells you for swing trading, this tells you it's okay to do swing trading now because the market is green on a daily basis and it stayed green. If you just see how the market went up here, everything stayed green. This tells you the institutions are buying. They're buying on the SPY. I can just look at individual stocks, same thing. And then we start to get a little yellow back here, first part of January. So swing trading's over. You've got to get out. You've got to be more selective at this point. So you kind of watch the market, and then back we go to swing trading again to the upside, right here in the end of January. Get a little bit of yellow in here, but still a multi-time frame stayed green. So you can see what this is showing you is for swing trading, for looking at daily candles, this is telling you that the market was staying bullish all the way through this period. Now all of a sudden we get some ugly looking candles here, especially this one. This was on 4-4. This was a bullish, what's called a bearish engulfing candle on the SPY. See how this went right to red? This went to yellow. You don't want to be going long here. In fact, everything went red, pretty much red or yellow all the way through here, except for the derivative of money flow, which is the least important. So you could have actually shorted in here a little bit, but you had to be careful, of course, because the market was still bullish overall. So then we chop around, and then we come to a period of time here where we could go long again, where everything is blue and green, it moves along, get a little chop here, so you take your profits, and then you've got a green again right now for a nice move. So I just want to show you what the Compass system does overall in identifying when the institutions are in there and when they're not. And when you start getting mixed signals like a red and a green, this tells you that there is no institutional buying or selling that's significant because they're mixed. The current time frame is going to red. The multi-time frame is still green. It's all mixed. You don't have enough information to tell you that they're in there. All right, so I'll take that down. That's recent price action. Now you spend a little bit of time here. Can I use it on lower time frames? Absolutely, Matt. Most of the time I'm using it on a 5-minute chart. I'll show you those. I mean, I use the 5, so the current time frame momentum would be a 5-minute, and the multi-time frame would be a 5, 15, and a 45. But that's mostly what I use it on. But when I'm looking for a swing trade, I want to make sure my daily chart is bullish. So that's why I showed you that. Okay, so the high probability trade setups, I created what's called a basic high probability trade setup funnel. And what this is, it's not a physical funnel, but this is the thought process you go through when you're looking at a stock to see whether it's a good long or a good short. So the first thing I look at is I want my daily chart and my 5-minute chart to align. I'm not going to go long a stock that's got a bearish daily chart. I'm not going to trade against the daily chart. Daily chart is going to be bullish, and if I'm looking to get into the trade, I'm going to wait till the 5-minute chart is also bullish that day, and then I'm going to enter it. But that's important. I'm not going to take any trades that are what would be considered counter trend. I'm not going to go long a stock that's got a bearish daily chart. I'm just not going to do it. We're going to trade with trend both the stock and market. If the market has a nice bullish trend and the stock has a bullish trend, that helps as well. If the market's chopping around, then you just skip this one. The third one is the critical one. The compass indicators need to align. The compass indicators tells you that you've got institutions in there buying or selling if it's red. And they've got to align with the direction of your trade. If you want to go long, you've got a bullish daily chart. You want the compass indicators to be long as well, green or blue. And then you look to see if the stock has got relative strength and relative weakness to the market, to the SPY. So it checks the box, checks the box, checks the box. And then you say, okay, my near support or resistance. If not, you can set an alert, enter the trade when the stock hits support or resistance. And it's got relative strength. And if all of these match, the stocks that drop out the bottom here become stocks that can be traded. If you want to go into some deeper analysis on them, obviously, what kind of options to use? Are the options priced right? Is there any resistance to the upside or the downside? But this gets you into the high probability trade setups. And this is just basically worded the same thing. But you notice the two key ones here: stock to be traded should have the daily chart and 5-minute chart aligned, and the compass indicators must align the direction of the trade. In relative strength and relative weakness, one thing to be clear on is on a 5-minute chart, the stock should be above the VWAP, or the volume weighted average price, which I'll show you for long, and below the VWAP for short. This is something that the institutions use all the time. And then you obviously enter near support for the long and near resistance for short. And the key thing we teach in the room is have patience. Don't be getting suffering from FOMO, fear of missing out. Wait for the stocks to come to you. All right, we got a question over here. What do the long green spikes mean? Off confirmation 3. Well, there was green spikes at the bottom. Those were some of the older buy signals. I don't use those. I've got other things that I'll show you on the compass system that are more accurate. All right. So let's talk about what the trades we take are in the room and on the alert service. This is what the trades you're going to see. Straight calls and puts, obviously. We took some calls today in Carvana. We had calls in SMR. Those were straight calls. I also use debit spreads using weekly option expiration. This is a little unusual, but we do debit spreads using weekly options expiration when the time is right. And I do this typically when I take a debit spread, it expires the current week. And then we use time spreads, and I'll show you some of these, but we do time spreads over earnings. And this is important now because good earnings coming up. We did one last night on JP Morgan. We get in for 80 cents or 85 cents and $85 a contract. We get out for $1.20 right off, almost right at the open this morning. Beautiful gain on that, on these time spreads. And these are non-directional trades. I don't care whether the stock goes up or goes down. We make money based on what's called implied volatility crush, because over earnings, the option premiums are jacked way up in price because they don't know, market makers don't know which way the stock's going to go or how far it's going to go. So we capture that using a time spread. I also use a trade called the weekly ATM strategy. This is where we sell puts every week against the stock that we own a much longer dated put on. For example, we could be selling puts on right now. I think it was we did one on Google. Yeah, and basically you would go out 4 to 8 weeks, probably 6 to 8 weeks, and you buy a long dated put. But the put is out of the money. It's down below the stock price. And then you sell puts against that stock every single week to bring in premium week after week after week after week. But you're protected on the downside because you've got a long dated put, and it reduces the amount of margin that's needed. So I have a video on this that goes into detail of how to use this strategy. I call it the weekly ATM because you're actually selling puts at the money, but I like to think of it as an automatic teller machine because of the way that this thing works. I mean, it works really well if you take the correct stock with the correct criteria. And then we do credit spreads to capture premium over a few weeks. Most people are probably familiar with that. And then I do this, what's called the SPY super system. Now, I only call these out in the room. I don't alert on these because they're too quick. And what these are is if the SPY is off of a support level and it's bouncing up, the institutions are showing that they're in there buying it, and the market internals, number of stocks moving up versus number of stocks going down, is also bullish. then that's what we would call it out for the SPY or the Q. And they typically only last, usually they only last 4 or 5 candles. Today you could have stayed in for about 2 hours because it kept on going. All right, so those are the strategies that you will see trades for. When they come through, it'll be one of those. Now the alert service, it's designed to do day trades and short-term swing trades. And when I say short-term swing trades, I'm talking about overnight out to about 3 weeks is about as far as I hold these things. I usually don't hold them beyond there. Most of these trades are going to be over in a few days. Again, it's designed for traders who can't watch the market all day. I don't want to watch the market all day. That's what I do. They're going to be real-time alerts. As soon as I identify it, I call it out in the room. I send an alert out. I take the trade. Anybody else who's on the alert service of the room can take the trade. And I do, of course, I take the highest probability trades by identifying when the institutions are in there, if the market internals are in our favor, and then I do additional technical analysis to see if the stock has got a decent risk reward based on how far is it to the next resistance level to the upside or the support level to the downside. So that's what the alert service works like. And what you get on the alert service if you remember, you're going to get an alert. It's going to include the stock symbol, obviously, the option strike price, the option expiration date, and the price to pay for the option. And this could be a range. This could be like 95 cents to $1 or something like that, because the stock prices move around. Now, I will say, if you get an alert and the stock price has moved a lot by the time you look at it, don't chase it. Just put the order in at the original price and look to get filled if and when the stock pulls back, because they usually do. I'll send out an alert with the buy price, and then later on, generally, sometimes I'll put the exit price in the same one, but not normally. The exit price will come out on a separate alert, and you want to set that as GTC, or good till canceled, so that if you're not at your computer in the morning, then that trade will be active, and you'll be able to exit the trade for a profit, even if you're not there. This is a current equity curve for the Compass Options Alert Service. This is assuming $2,000 put into each trade. I have to use some sort of a basis. So this is 2,000 in each trade. This is how it's performed in the last I don't know how long that is, a year and a couple of months or something. So pretty nice. And you'll see some of the results. I'm going to go over the results you can see. All right, so I'm going to run through the trades really quickly, and there's 2 reasons for this. I want to show you what our results are like, but I also want to kind of let you know what to expect for results on the trades. When I say what to expect, what kind of percentage gains? I don't want you to think that you get these emails all the time that you're going to make 500, 600, 7%, 100% on trades. You can do it occasionally, but you can't make a living doing that. It just doesn't happen enough. You're going to have way too many losses. So this is our September of 2023 trades. I just arbitrarily picked this month. But you can see you have wins of 23, 43, 32, 5% here, 108%. This was a good one. And 31%, 16%. So this is pretty much what you can expect from the trades that you take. We have losses. Be aware that we have losses. Everybody has losses. We had a couple of losses in here. But in September, we did 25 wins and 2 losses, 92% win rate. $2,000 invested in each trade produced $7,788. That's pretty good and that was for September. October, again, you can look at these. I'm not going to read them off, but you can see the percentages we had from losses here. But you can see the percentages. Again, some nice ones, some moderate ones. 2861 JD was nice, but it just depends on what the market gives us, how much we can take and how long we can stay in the trade. October 24 and 4. 86% win rate, 44.80 on the profits. November, 21 and 4, 84% win rate. Lower win rate, but higher profits because we were able to stay in some trades longer. But again, see the percentage gains that we're getting here. This was a strangle. This was a put credit spread. This was another strangle, another put credit spread. So pretty consistent with these gains. You're going to see this month after month after month. December, very few trades in December. The holidays, the market wasn't that great for trading, so we didn't take a lot of trades, but we had 14 wins and 2 losses. 87.5% win rate. I'll take that all the time. 31.15, that's a low profit for us, but we didn't have a lot of trades. January, a really good month, 20 wins, 2 losses, 90% win rate. Gilead, we took a 100% loss in Gilead. There was a FDA note that came out that killed that stock. That happens. But again, you can see percentages hanging in here, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. There's Mara for 65%, Boeing for 96%. So these are pretty nice in January. February, again, 24 wins and 2 losses, 92% win rate. This was a really good month, 11,745. I also broke the alert service out in February too, because you don't get the same number of trades in the alert service as you get in the room, because there's trades that I take in the room that are too quick, and then I'm going to be in and out of too quickly, and I can't really send alerts on them. It's not fair. Or I'll take a trade like at 10 minutes of 4 in the afternoon. I can do it in the room. I can't send an alert out on that. It's not going to give anybody time to get into it, so I don't count those. So anyway, 2,000 invested in the room was 11,745. 20 wins and 2 losses on the alert service. 2,000 invested produced 6,930. You have to, you know, these are really good wins for this kind of a service, especially for what you're paying for it. I'll just kind of recap here. This is the 2023 trade results using $2,000 per trade. And that, again, that's an arbitrary number that I use. I have to have some sort of basis so that I can make comparisons from month to month. But 2,000 in each trade taken in 2023 produced 60,000, a little over 60,000 in profits. If you had a $50,000 account and you were trading 2,000 a trade, initially it would be 4% of your account balance. But by the end of the year, the account had grown to 110,000. So if you were still putting 2,000 into a trade, you'd only be using 2% of your account to put in each trade. So, and again, that just kind of shows you what happened in 2023. Now for 2024, this is the trading room. This is the alert service. This was the first quarter, January, February, March. 65 wins, 11 losses, 86% win rate, 18.7 in the trading room, 41 wins and 6 or 87% on the alert service, 12,224. So these are, I want to be transparent about these. Obviously, we have losses just like everybody, but what's important, I think, is what's the bottom line on these trades. And I've had 3 losing months in the last 30. So, but one was only $600 and something, and the other 2 were about 1,100. So fairly small losses. This is the second quarter. This just wrapped up. I think this is up to date. There may be a couple of trades I didn't get in here, but trading room, 65 wins and 14 losses, 83% win rate, 14,000 profit. And alert service, 35 wins, 6 losses, 85% win rate, 11,784. And I do want to comment on the trades that I was showing month to month. I don't list every single trade that I take. I try to have a representative sample of the trades. It just takes too long to do them all. Okay. So here's another question here. Matt, you pretty much only trade the indexes or the futures? Okay, ES and Q, right, I get you. Have you used the compass system on the futures? Trade the 2-minute time frame? Yeah, it works fine on futures. I don't know if you trade on TOS. I mean, if you want to trade futures, you can trade on, a lot of people trade futures on NinjaTrader, but the compass system is perfect for it because it does exactly the same thing. I mean, I'll trade the ES, but the same thing as trading the SPY. I mean, it's going to give you the same information. You use Ninja, then you want to get the what's called the money flow tracker, which is the compass system, but it runs on Ninja. They call it a different name. It runs on Ninja, gives you exactly the same information. Okay, so these were money flow tracking, correct? These are and you get it from Rightline, just like you do the compass system. And I'll show it at the end. I'm going to show the compass system. The money flow tracker will be the same. It just runs on a different platform. Right. So in May, here is our May trades, and I highlighted the time spreads here. How we had really good results with time spreads. There was a lot of earnings we could take in May, and I highlighted them because I did a presentation on time spreads and how well they work. But you can see how many time spreads we did this month. And again, these are all overnight, so you don't have to worry about being a pattern day trader and having to do day trades in these, because we get in the afternoon and out the next morning. So in May, we had 15 wins and 2 losses, 88% win rate on the alerts, 49.79. And on the options room, we had 29 wins and 7 losses. See, a lot more trades we took in the room here. And there was some strangles and straddles that we took. And again, 81% win rate, lower win rate, a little bit higher profits, but on a lot more trades. So the alert service really worked out. Really, their ROI was actually better in the alert service in May. June, I did a time spread on Lulu. Obviously, when you're running in June, you don't get a lot of earnings to trade because the earnings season is just beginning now in the first part of July. But again, here is June trades. You can see how nice these were. Again, weekly ATM right here, 40%, and very consistent. June trades taken in the room, 25 and 4, 86% win rate. You see this keeps repeating and repeating. 2,000 invested each trade, netted 75.90. The alerted trades really had a good month. 14 wins, only 1 loss, 92% win rate, $8,300.16 profit from the alert trades in June. I don't know if you can hear that, but I got a thunderstorm coming, and I hope I don't lose power. Can you trade Forex? Yeah, it's not. No, Forex is not gonna. It's not gonna find Forex. Those are foreign exchanges, and that's a whole different game. All right, so there's the June trades. We just went over that. These are the July trades. I just whipped these again today. I don't know if I got them all here, but these are our trades so far in July. You know, obviously it's only the 12th of July, but we had this JPM time spread that was last night. We had this TSLL straddle that was last night. This is SMR. We just closed today, and we closed SMR previously for 37% gain. So there's 8 trades there. I think we've had 1 loss. I have to go back and look, but typically everything as we've got so far has been a win. All right, so those are the trades, and I'm going to spend a little time talking about how we get these kind of results with the Compass system, and I'll show you some of the Compass information. We're able to identify when institutions are driving a trade and when the market internals are heavily bullish or bearish. All right, we've talked about this several times. So we only take trades when both of these are in our favor. Not completely true. If the market internals are the number of stocks moving up versus number of stocks moving down is not bullish or bearish, but just neutral, I'll still take trades as long as the institutions are in the trade. And so with that's how we get to trade the best and skip the rest. Am I going to be speaking about Heiken Ashi buys? Absolutely, Dan. In just a minute, I'm going to get to Heiken Ashi. I'm going to spend a decent amount of time on Heiken Ashi. We're almost there. This is just how again, this is institutional money flow. This just tells you how we're able to get the results we get here by using institutional money flow. And how the Compass system identifies when institutions are in trade. Now, this is important as well. It's important to understand that the Compass system does what's called a triple screen assessment. And we look at momentum, we look at trend, we look at money flow. Momentum is really important. But when I trade triple screen, what I'm looking at is I'm looking across multiple time frames, what some people call fractals. So I'm looking across on a 5-minute chart, the 5, the 15, the 45, on a daily chart, the 1 day, the 3 day, the 9 day. On all of these things, when all of these 3 items are moving in the same direction across all time frames, it's almost imperative that the institutions are driving that trade. Most trades are just not going to do that without institutional driving. All right, so that shows you how the Compass system works. I want to spend a little time now on this. Is a Compass system of Tesla, and the reason I'm pointing this out is this is using Heiken Ashi candles. So I want to show you an example of Heiken Ashi candles before we get into how they work. But these are Heiken Ashi candles, and this is on Tesla. And where I entered on this is a 5-minute chart. You see the compression here. Notice the Compass system is telling me the institutions are buying the heck out of this thing. But right here, I get what's called a pop out of the box signal on Compass. This pink arrow tells me compression is breaking. And I go from a wick and a tail to a flat bottom. That's how you tell a Heiken Ashi reversal. When you go from a Heiken Ashi candle as a wick and a tail, or just a wick or a tail, and then goes to a flat bottom. And you notice as the trend continues, notice how every single candlestick here is a flat bottom. That's a Heiken Ashi. Those are Heiken Ashi candles telling you that this trend is intact. Notice when you get here with a wick and a tail, if you're in this trade, you can consider taking profits right here. All right, so that's what they look like. So we're gonna get into these. All right, so let's talk about Heiken Ashi candles. All right, so what's the advantages of Heiken Ashi candles over standard candles? I guess everybody knows about regular candlesticks. All right, A, it identifies confirmation of a trend reversal. This is really important because we talked earlier about we were waiting for a stock to pull back to support and then go back into the original trend. How do we know that? What we know is that we can look at a Heiken Ashi candle, and that's going to confirm the reversal. Regular candles, one regular candle is not enough to confirm it. You need a confirmation, and a Heiken Ashi candle will give you that confirmation by going to a flat bottom candle. It also allows trade entries on a confirmed reversal, avoiding failed breakouts. Same thing. You're not going to have as many failed breakouts if you use Heiken Ashi candles than you will if you use regular candles. It moves up, it smooths out price movement to eliminate noise, which I'm getting a lot of here right now with this thunderstorm, and allows the traders to stay in the trend longer, avoiding shakeouts. You get these little red candles in a green trend that are off of regular candles, but the Heiken Ashi candle is not going to do that. Heiken Ashi candle will continue to go up, even though you get these little red candles popping in. It identifies waning trend momentum to exit for profits, and it makes it much easier to identify, visualize the current trend. All right, so this is the big advantages of that. And I would say if you have not used Heiken Ashi candles in your technical analysis, you may want to start to use them because they're going to give you better trading results. What are Heiken Ashi candles? It means average bar in Japanese. What it is it smooths out the price action by using every Heiken Ashi candle is made up of 2 bars, and I'll show you those here in just a bit. But it makes it much clearer to see the trend. It eliminates a lot of the noise and makes it easier to see the trend and stay in the trend. Again, bullish Heiken Ashi candles have flat bottoms, and bearish Heiken Ashi candles have flat tops. And I'll show you some examples of that. So obviously, bullish trends will have flat bottomed Heiken Ashi candles one after another. Bearish trends will have flat top candles one after another. Okay, so but generally you can stay with a bullish trend as no flat top Heiken Ashi candles appear. In other words, if you're looking for a bullish trend, you're looking at flat bottom candles. Once you get a flat top candles that shows up, then that's a warning sign that the upward trend is probably fading. Again, reversal in a bullish trend is going to have a flat bottom Heiken Ashi candle, followed by a smaller doji candle, and followed by a flat top candle. That's how a bullish trend ends. With flat top candles, followed by flat bottom candles. I'm sorry, flat bottom candles, followed by flat top candles. And I'll show you these here in just a minute. All right, so let me just get into this so I can get into the actual candles setup so you can see. All right, because we'll talk about some of the other elements get into this. All right, so this is a graphic of Heiken Ashi candles here. Now, this is a Heiken Ashi candle that's bearish. You can see the flat top. See, it's red. Here's another. Now we get a wick and a tail, and a wick and a tail, but no reversal. And then we get another flat top. So this is not really a Heiken Ashi reversal candle. This is a Heiken Ashi bearish continuation. Your continuation in the downtrend, going from a flat top to some wicks and tails to another flat top. That's a continuation to the downside. And you can see it continues down, continues down, continues down. Now we're starting to get wicks and tails, but the candles are green. Another wick and a tail, another wick and a tail. Flat bottom candle right here in this candle. That is a Heiken Ashi reversal candle. This is where you would want to enter the trade. And you notice you get flat bottom, flat bottom, flat bottom, flat bottom, flat bottom. The trend continues. So this is what you're looking for. And you notice that each Heiken Ashi candle begins in the middle of the previous Heiken Ashi candle because of the way they're constructed. Okay. Then a question from Matt. What's the difference between the SPY super system and the Compass trading system? The SPY super system is really just a methodology we use using the Compass system to trade the SPYs and the Qs off of certain criteria. Stock pulling back to support, bouncing up, institutions are buying it, market trend is in our favor. That's a SPY super system. It's basically a methodology that we use by identifying the Compass system when institutions are in the trade. All right, so again, here's a Tesla Heiken Ashi reversal. We just looked at this one. I'm going to show you a few that I've found we've traded in the past. This is Gilead. This was a Heiken Ashi reversal right here. This is when we decided to take the trade. That's a daily chart. Notice everything's green. This was a bullish Heiken Ashi reversal right here in General Electric. This was a trade we took not too long ago. Heiken Ashi reversal right here. See the wick on the tail? Flat bottom, flat bottom. Very, very nice one. The compass system has a few other indicators in here, but we'll get into those in a bit. And here's IBM. This is off of my TC2000 chart, but I wanted to show you that this is a Heiken Ashi reversal candle right here. See the flat bottom after we had a bunch of wicks and tails? And this was a line I drew. This is called an algo line. It was breaking through there. This became a beautiful entry for a long entry on IBM. And this was Teva, same thing. You notice see the Heiken Ashi candle right here? See it's coming down, flat bottom, a nice big candle. You want the reversal candles to be larger, or at least as large as the candles that created the trend. In other words, these down candles, you want this one to be at least as big, or if not bigger. And this was a beautiful reversal on Teva, on Heiken Ashi candles. And I'm just showing it here on TC2000 because it's easier to see the candles on here than it is on TOS. All right, so I'm going to look at some live charts. And I'm going to pop up a couple of things here. I want to show you some, I've got a couple of bearish reversals and bullish reversals. All right, so I'm just going to pop up over here. I'm going to do a couple things. I'm going to show you these on TC2000 first of all, and then I'll go back to TOS. But I've got a few of them that popped up today these are bullish reversal candles. Now remember, we've had a lot of stocks that reversed, went down yesterday, tech stocks, with a lot of the IWM or the Russell 2000 bouncing up. So we've created a lot of reversal candles today. But this is JetBlue. This is a Heiken Ashi reversal candle on JetBlue right there. We get a few more here, I think. There's Uber. That's not really a good one. I'm just doing this off of a scan I've got on TC2000. This is a Norwegian Cruise Lines. So that's a regular candle there. But let me switch over to Heiken Ashi. See Heiken Ashi here? That candle right there, see how it goes with a wick and a tail, flat bottom? That's a good Heiken Ashi candle right there. Let me see here, what else we got? BFE, this was yesterday. This was Pfizer. This is one that popped up yesterday on the scan, right there. Right on Pfizer. See the wick and the tail? All flat bottom, and then followed through today with a flat bottom. SPY as well. SPY had a Heiken Ashi reversal candle way back here. So you can see this is where you would be entering the SPY for a type of swing type trade. It's still moving up. But you're getting a couple of tails here now, nothing big, but you're getting a couple of tails. All right, let's see what else we got here. Verizon, that one had today. I'm just kind of picking real-time trades here that I've seen off of a scan I've got. Carvana, beautiful Carvana trade. Here was a Heiken Ashi reversal right here. Had a little bit of a tail yesterday. Now it's flat bottom again. This is a nice entry for Carvana. Look at how nice this was right here. Heiken Ashi reversal. Notice once you start getting the reversal candles, they usually continue up for a while. And here's a bearish Heiken Ashi reversal right here. Wick and a tail, flat top. They come down. And you can set these Heiken Ashi candles on any of your platforms, any of your charting programs. They will look at that. Bearish reversal today, Tesla. Bearish reversal, Heiken Ashi candle right there. Wick and a tail, flat top. WFC, this was earnings. This is Wells Fargo. Big Heiken Ashi candle to the downside. Amazon as well. Now, a lot of these are because they had really weak days yesterday, so you'd have to be careful with that. But Meta has a serious Heiken Ashi reversal today to the downside. And so did Snap, and so did Microsoft. This isn't really dramatic, but it's a Heiken Ashi reversal. So that's what they look like on TC2000. Now, I just picked those off the regular charts that we got. Now, if I look at them on the compass system, all right. But here's a SPY right here. If I look at, well, let's look at one we just had. Let's look at Meta. easier to see. Okay, here's better on the daily. All I do on Compass, if I want to on toss it, just switch the style from a regular candle type to Heiken Ashi, and you're going to see the Heiken Ashi reversal right there. See that Heiken Ashi reversal? Pretty major. And you notice we've got current time frame went to yellow, went to bearish. Trend went to bearish. We still got multi-time frame is still green, but we got the current time frame switching over. Right, so that was some pretty good one. We had Pfizer yesterday, which would have been a long. Oops. Okay, so there was Pfizer, and you see the reversal right there yesterday in the Compass system. So that's what you look for, and it's easier for me to see on TC2000, but Compass system identifies these. And all you have to do is just change the style back to candlesticks, and it goes back to regular candlesticks. All right, so there's Pfizer today on the daily chart. This pink line here, by the way, is the VWAP, the volume weighted average price that I had mentioned before. Very important that when you're going long, the stock needs to be above that price. Right, and the SPY today had a huge run up and then closed very weak. But look at this run up in the SPY today. Really a nice run up, especially this afternoon. Just kept grinding up, grinding up, grinding up. Everything went green here, and you just could ride this all the way up. And then this gave us a warning that the week was getting weak. Right there, it tells you that the institutions have stopped buying again. And then boom, they come in and they sold, and you can see right there, went from blue to yellow to red. Right there is where you could get short if you waited until it got below the VWAP. I wouldn't be trading it this late in the day, but that's how you see. All right, so those are Heiken Ashi charts. Now, I want to show you, and let me see if I got any questions on Heiken Ashi here. Let's see. Is your Chaikin money flow the same Ninja Trader money flow tracker? Now, the Chaikin money flow that I have on the TC2000 is just an indicator. The Ninja money flow tracker is a piece of software that's exactly the same as the TOS system here that I've got. I've got the Compass system on the TOS system on ThinkorSwim. You put the money flow tracker on Ninja, and it gives you the same information. It's just that Ninja and Compass, Ninja and TOS, they display their indicators a little bit differently. So that's why it's going to look a little different, and they call it a different thing. But it does have exactly the same information. It's looking at momentum, trend, and money flow. It's looking at the exact same things. On TC2000, the different color candles, what do they represent? Well, I'll tell you quickly what I do. Let me just do this so you can see, because I get questions on this. Typically, you have green and red candles, all right? What I do in TC2000, what I'm able to do is I'm able to color code the candles if the Bollinger Bands are expanding. In other words, if the stock is breaking out of a compression, breaking to the downside. Right here, I've got a bearish candle, this red candle. When it goes to pink, that tells me that it's a red candle, a bearish candle, but my Bollinger Bands are expanding, which tells me that the trend or the compression is breaking to the downside. That's what that means. And when they go to blue, the compression is breaking and these are big bullish candles with a compression to the upside. These are, to me, more bullish than regular green, more bearish than regular red. Okay? And yellow is middle. I don't want to get a lot of that, but that's what those are for, Steve. Okay, so here's some trades that we've taken. I just kind of want to show these are actual trades we've taken, and I want to show you why we took them, where we took them, etc. This was a work day we took. We had a 30% profit in 5 days. We actually didn't, this arrow's in the wrong spot. I took it right here when it went from yellow to blue. And then it's the multi-time frame switched back to yellow, so I had to be very cautious here and make sure that it stayed bullish. But the current time frame stayed bullish the whole time, so I was able to stay in it. And then it switched over to green. Whoops. And then everything stayed green here. And we're in this for 5 days, 30% gain. You can see how clearly the institutions were buying this stuff. Same thing here. This is MDT. We get in here, looking for this green line here is the 15 EMA of an EMA that the Compass system produces. It tells you what the 15 EMA is. It's basically a trend line. So I look for a stock to bounce off of there and get above the VWAP on the daily, doesn't matter. And again, I get into it here, and I rode this thing up to 25% profit in a short period of time. And you notice we get in when it went from yellow to blue, right there. VKTX, big buying by the institutions. Took a trade right here, 30% in 3 days. Not a big move, but a decent move. This was an overnight trade in McDonald's. Here we took it right here. You see, it's popping up. Everything's green. Obviously, the institutions are buying this. The institutions are buying here, but it's not really moving the price. So I'm waiting for a break of compression. I get it right here out of this dynamic compression zone that the compass system produces. I buy it here. I get a pop, and it goes right up. And I get up the next morning, in for 11:30, 8:30, out for 11:30, 37% gain overnight by using the compass system to tell me that I had the institutions in there buying it. This is another chart. I've got a few of these charts, and I'll try to get through them because I don't want to hold you here too long. But I do want you to see that this went from green to yellow. It broke down. And again, don't pay any attention to the pink line on a daily. The pink is the volume weighted average price. It's only effective on the shorter time frames, 5 minutes, 15 minutes. Okay, so the stock's breaking down here. We take this and we take a 33% gain in Moderna. Amazon, same thing, right here. This was yellow, so I had to be a little cautious, but everything else was telling me the institutions are in there. So I took it, and we took a 32% profit. We just traded this one candle intraday. JD, I think I showed you this, but this was a nice 61% profit as it broke out of a dynamic compression zone, this little shaded area, with a move from green to yellow right here. The current time frame went from bullish to bearish. Everything else was already bearish. Take the trade. Dollar Tree, same thing, 25%. Institutions were selling here like crazy, but it wasn't really going anywhere. And then we got a big move, so we jumped on that move. We knew that we'd be fairly safe being short this trade here. And his D-Dog, Datadog, same thing, coming out of dynamic compression, 21% gain, everything yellow or red. So you can see how this compass system shows what the institutions are doing here. This was a 20% gain in crowd. Again, I had to watch this because the multi-time frame switched back and forth, but the current time frame never varied from being bullish the whole time. Same thing with Amazon. This was a 5-minute chart coming off the 15 EMA right here. This is a support level, bouncing up with a pop out of the box symbol telling me compression is breaking. I got all green here except for the long-term trend, but I'm not concerned about that because that's being impacted by all of this compression, but everything else here is green, so I take this, and this was 32% in 45 minutes. We just stayed in the trade 45 minutes, and I get 32%. ENPH, nice trade here, 20% an hour. The downside, again, can you see that the institutions are selling here? Verizon, this was a beautiful one. This was the 5-minute chart. Broke below the VWAP with a pop out of the box symbol, breaking compression. Everything red. Took this 50% profit an hour. We get into these options for $45 a contract, 45 cents. $45 a contract, and we get out an hour later for $67 a contract. From $450 for 10 contracts to $670 for 10 contracts. Pretty nice trade right there. In SPY, this is the SPY super system setup I was telling you about. What we're looking for is we're looking for a break of a breakdown. In other words, dynamic compression zone or 15 EMA, something breaking down. And here I'm getting a compression break with this blue candle. You notice it's below the VWAP, so I know it's short. I know the institutions are selling like crazy. Look at how red it is. My market internals, by the way, are also bearish. So this is where we call out the trade. This is where we take it. We write it down to here, and then we get out. We're not going to stay in these things very long, so I can't alert on these, but that's what the SPY super system setup looks like. And this was Netflix, again, 25%, 20% profit. Getting in here as it breaks below the VWAP with a pop out of the box symbol. Could have got in here as well, but I didn't do that because see, this was blue. This went, this went to yellow. So that's where I entered on it when it went to yellow. Tesla, 30% profit. We didn't go far, go very much until the end of the day. Then it came down pretty hard. Everything was bearish. And notice we get in when it went from blue to yellow right here. That was our entry point. Stock falls down and we get out and to make 30% on it. And this was a Tesla. We even used this for overnight, even on a 5-minute chart. We had a compression break here below the VWAP for Tesla late in the day. We took puts overnight. Stock dropped from 120 to 112. So we got a break on that. It was, there's a little bit of luck involved when you get that big a drop. But that was, we made about $7.50 a contract on that Tesla trade. And this one we've seen. This is the Heiken Ashi reversal on Tesla. This I just want to show you how I use the daily chart and the 5-minute charts in combination. This showed me the daily chart in QSR right here. You see how it went blue, yellow, blue. This is bullish. It's breaking out of dynamic compression, so I want to trade this. The next chart is QSR for the day that I get in. So the stock is moving sideways, I'm looking for a trade entry. This is where I took the trade entry. Pop out of the box symbol, this pink arrow. Everything was blue and green. I had to be cautious because we got a little yellow here as it went sideways, but everything else stayed green. And I stayed in it, and we rode this thing right up. This was the 5-minute chart. And I knew the daily chart was bullish. Remember I said the daily chart needs to be bullish. This chart was bullish as well. This is where we took the QSR trade. All right, so that kind of covers how we trade in the room, how we find high probability trade setups, how you can use the compass system to enhance your trading. I use the compass system in the room every day. If you're in the room, you're going to see the compass system up on the screen all day long. And I switch it back to the SPY and different stocks that people are looking at. I also use TC2000. I'll drag the screen over so you can see that as well. And we've got those scanners running on Compass all day long. So, I mean, that's there's a lot of information, a lot of education there. And again, these are what we've covered this. We do straight calls and puts, debit spreads, time spreads over earning. These are non-directional trades. We don't care whether the stock goes up or down after earnings. Weekly ATM, credit spreads, and the SPY super system. So these are all of the trades you'll either in the room you'll hear about, or you're going to get alerts on these kind of trades. All right, and again, there's what the alert system looks like. I'm gonna go into the offers here. Let me just see if there's any other questions. We talked about the candlesticks on TC2000. Okay, no problem. And if you're, as we go through this, in the chat box, there'll be links that you can click on for any of these particular offers that we have. This is the alert service itself. If you join the alert service, you get a month live in the trading room. It comes with it. You also get it. We have a Discord room where we have 2 other professional traders, and you obviously get the text alerts where you have access to that. I have about 30 different videos, 25 or 30 videos on how to trade options, and I'll talk about the compass system, the indicators, how you use the indicators to find the best trades. There's a video on Heiken Ashi reversals and how to trade those. There's one on every single strategy we have, and I have other ones on how to do additional technical analysis called Top Gun, how to get into the very best technical setups you can find. So this is the alert service, quarterly $498, annual $1496, and lifetime. Some people don't want to do it every year, $24.96. And you saw the results we had in the room. So this is extremely well priced, I believe. This is the live options room. This is the trading room itself. Again, $11.98 for a year in the trading room. $148 if you want to try it for a month. I don't think a month is long enough to get a good test of it, but some people want to do that. You just save 50% to get the full year of the annual, and save $50 just to get into it for just a month. And again, you get obviously you get the live trading room. You're in there. You're going to get in Discord. There'll be instant messaging in Discord. So every trade that I take in the room will be posted in Discord. So if you're not in the room but you're on your mobile device, you can be in the Discord room and you can see the trades in there, and you'll get the videos just as you get on in the room. All right, and lastly, this is the compass system itself. Some people want to actually have the compass system themselves, or the money flow tracker on Ninja. It's a $12.49 for a year. Quarterly, you can try it for $5.98. The system itself is if you run it on TOS or you run it on Ninja, the Compass, the Rightline folks will install it on your machine for no charge. They'll just take over your machine, they'll put the software in there. It's going to look exactly like mine that I was showing you. It'll look exactly the same. It'll come with the scanners. If you buy the Compass system, you get a month of the trading room for free. You'll also get a month of the Discord chat, and you get the videos. You get to see the videos as well. And you're going to get my workspace. It's going to look exactly like the Compass system that I showed you, with all the indicators, all the colors, all of that is going to be in there, and the scanners will be there as well. So for some folks that want to have it, I mean, a lot of people like to have it so they can look at it themselves and trade it themselves, not have to listen to me. But it's a good deal. So those are the three things. You got the alert service, the $14.96 is a really good deal with it, considering we made about 60,000 last year. Summer sale on the trading room, again $11.98 for the year, $148 per month, and the Compass system right here, $12.49 if you want to get a year of the Compass system completely installed. They'll install it for you. You won't have to do anything. They'll put it on your software, on your TOS or on your Ninja, and you can just trade off of that. All right. So that is all the presentation for me. I hope you have found this useful. I hope you found the information on the Heiken Ashi candles. I didn't want to spend too much time in the webinar because I know it's Friday and everybody wants to get home. But I wanted to get through before I lost power. So anyway, I appreciate that. Again, there's a link in the chat box to any of these offers that you'd like. Okay, Maggie, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you. Michael, you appreciate it. Thank you. All right. And again, if you have any questions, you can talk to Rory. That's the number right there, 786-732-4656. I'll pop your name and number in the question box or the chat box, and he'll give you a call and go over anything that you may have questions on. And again, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you coming on a Friday afternoon to listen to this. I hope the information was useful to you. Again, I've been doing this for a good long time, and the fact that we use the Compass system to identify institutional trading was a game changer for a lot of people. Was for me, it increased my profitability by a lot. So again, have a great weekend, everybody, and we'll see some of you folks. We'll hope to see you in the alert service or on the trading room come Monday morning. Have a great weekend.